Hi everybody and welcome back to the Seesaw. So, well, what a week it's been. It's Saturday afternoon. I've just got back from a Tesco grocery shop. We've all been battling this horrible winter bug all week. So this time last week Tony went down with it and he was sort of in and out, just really in bed, but sort of didn't really do much at all for most of Saturday and most of Sunday. Then Monday, Caleb wasn't feeling great. He went to school. By Monday evening, was starting to feel quite rough. I had to be away with work Wednesday and Thursday, so I sort of toughed it out and made it through that somehow. I just felt awful the whole time I was away, and then finally succumbed properly to it yesterday. It's just really feverish, like hot one minute, cold the next, horrible chesty cough, difficulty sleeping. It's just horrible, and Caleb missed a day of school yesterday with it, which is really unusual for him. It's only like the third day, I think, or second or third day he's ever missed in his school life, and he's in his 6th year of school. So, yeah, it's just been really rubbish. So Caleb's team had a cup game today in football, so we obviously haven't been able to go and join in on that. So Caleb was quite disappointed. We haven't heard how they did yet. Tomorrow we're supposed to be away with rugby match and we won't be going, and that will be the first rugby game Caleb has missed in 5 seasons of rugby. So it's really quite a bad one. I don't know if it's hit you, your family or anybody you know, but I hope it hasn't and I hope it doesn't, because it really is a tough one. Tony and I have been together almost 12 years and I haven't known him be that sick where he just goes to bed, doesn't get up and doesn't eat for a couple of days. So it's a really horrible, nasty one this year. People said, do you think you have flu? I don't think it's flu. It doesn't feel quite enough to be flu. I have had flu once in my life, and certainly when you get flu, you know you've got it. This has been horrible and felt really rough with it, but I'm struggling to think it's more than just a really heavy cold. So, don't know, might be a flu bug, but I'm hoping that it's not, because if it's not, then early next week I should be over the worst of it and we'll all be back to normal health again. But yes, I've been to Tesco's, didn't really feel like doing anything, but I also hadn't organised a delivery, so Tesco's was the easier option because they have scan and shop. Now I spent £100, and as I was paying and sort of sorting that out, it just felt like a lot, because the last few weeks I've shopped at Tesco's and spent kind of just over 80, between 80 and 90. And I didn't feel like I'd got that much more this week. But then when I got home and unpacked, I did buy 2 whole chickens. I bought a half side of salmon. And those things can quickly, I bought some branded cereal, and those things can quickly kind of boost up the price by another £5–10. So I now know why it was more. But at the time I was really struggling to understand how could it be that much more. I don't think anything else was particularly more expensive, but they also didn't have much marked down this week, so I wasn't able to pick up any real bargains in there this week. So I will turn you around, I will show you what I bought, and then at the end, as always, I'll show you our meal plan for the week ahead. Just a normal week this week for us, so should be a fairly normal plan, and hopefully we'll all be back into eating, because this week we just haven't really eaten the things that we planned to eat. We've just eaten what we felt like eating to make us feel better, really. I did still manage to lose a pound this week, but I think that was just from sweating it out with the fever. I think just the constant hot and cold was probably what lost that pound from me this week, rather than any healthy eating. I did eat a lot of fruit because, you know, I actually fancied fruit, and I always think when you're ill, just eat what you fancy, and I was really craving fruit at one point in the week, so I have had a lot of fruit, but other things, it's been toast and just things that I really wanted to eat. So hopefully this next week will be a bit more back to a normal routine. So I'll turn you around, show you what we got, and the meal plan will be at the end. So there is the sweep of everything. It does go around the corner, but the non-food items this week, this was marked down to £1.50. Now I normally buy hand soaps when they're, so things like hand soap, shower cream, toothpaste. I keep a stock in our medicine cabinet in the family bathroom. And then when it gets below a certain level, then I'll stock up. And usually I buy the like Carex or that sort of hand soap, and I look for it to be marked down. But this was marked down. It's Bailey's of Bond Street, and it's rose and raspberry, and it was marked down to £1.50, and it is a bigger pot than the Carex pots. So I thought I'd give it a try. It smells really nice, and I just liked the design on there, so that's just to go in the store cupboard. My usual TV mag and a pack of 3 paper towels. These were also marked down this week, but we are down to our last paper towel. We're using the last one at the moment, so definitely needed them. Drinks for Caleb this week. The hydros were still marked down. They were £1.50 for a pack of 8, and I think that's half price for them, or quite a considerable discount, so I got another pack of those. Our usual 50/50 loaf. I also got some wholemeal or brown thins, sandwich thins, and I got some of the Weight Watchers white wraps. I like to use these to make kind of a pizza for lunch at work. So if I take one of these, a little bit of passata, some grated cheese, some toppings like some chopped onion or even some chopped jalapenos, some sweet corn, hams, a little bit of mushroom, that sort of thing. Put it all together, and we've got one of those little kind of halogen ovens at work. And if I put it in there for about 10 minutes, it all gets nice and bubbly on the top, and it's like having pizza, but it's healthy. So that's what I typically use those for. Crisp-wise, I got some skips and some hula hoops. Weetabix Crispy Minis, the chocolate ones. These are for Caleb. He does love these. He likes to eat them dry as a snack, but he also does like them for breakfast. I only buy them when they're on offer, and they were, I think, 50p off this week. And I got some shreddies, which were marked down to £1 for this size box this week. Some little chocolate brownie bites. Cocoa Pops bars. He's had Rice Krispie bars the last couple of weeks, so I just got those for a change. He's also still got some fruit snacks in the cupboard. Some crunchies, ginger nut biscuits and bourbon creams for the biscuit barrel, some beef gravy granules, a jar of passata. So I've got cartons in the pantry, and I usually use the cartons, but as I mentioned, I'm making things like that pizza, or making a little bit of pasta for my lunch, mixing some pizza, mixing pizza with pasta. That sounds delicious. Wishful thinking, I think. Mixing some passata in with some pasta and perhaps some like cooked shrimp or something like that. A quick and easy lunch for me. And so I like to have a bottle of passata where I can use some and put the rest in the refrigerator and just use it a little bit at a time. Some Jamaican jerk seasoning, 4 cans of baked beans, some tomato puree, that's the pantry stuff. Onto the fridge, 2 pots of this pouring skier yogurt that Toney uses in his smoothies. It's high protein, low fat or fat free yogurt. Again, this was on offer, £1.50 a carton this week, so I got him 2 of those. I did get a pot of tomato and basil fresh soup. I do make my own soup. I always make my own soup. I love making soup and just throwing together different ingredients and seeing how it turns out. But I just fancied having, when you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to do is, even though it's just chopping it up and putting it in the soup maker, that's sometimes too much hassle. So I just wanted some nice tomato soup in the fridge. So I caved and bought I think they're only £1 or just over £1 for the Tesco one, so it's not that bad. Some lighter Country Life buttery spread, low-fat soft cheese, another little pack of the 4 pots of 0% Greek-style yogurt, savoury eggs for Caleb for a lunchbox this week, and apple juice. I didn't get a milk as we were almost out of milk, and Toney wanted cereal this morning, so he walked down to the village shop and bought a milk there, so we do already have a fresh milk in the fridge. Laughing Cow light triangles, some Parmesan cheese, wafer thin chicken and wafer thin ham, some Wildlife strawberry tubes, smoked salmon. Again, using one of those Weight Watchers wraps, I would put that with some of the low-fat cream cheese, smoked salmon and some spinach, and that would make a lunch for me one day. Strings and things, cheese strings, and a block of reduced fat cheddar. Caleb's completely out of ice creams this week, so I got him 4 of the fruit pastel lollies and 4 strawberry and vanilla cones. I look for these in the kind of, at our Tesco, at the freezer aisles, on the ends. are the things that are marked down that particular week. And I always just have a look in there, and if things are marked down that he likes, I always get them, keep a few in the freezer, and that way if I'm having something for dinner or making something for dinner, like this week, he came home from his childminders a couple of nights early because he wasn't feeling great, and we obviously didn't want to pass things on to the other children, and so he ate at home when he wasn't planning to eat at home. And so if I'm making something that he's not that keen on, this sort of thing in the freezer means I can put him a quick dinner together if I need to. And also after he's done football on a Wednesday night, he has dinner before he goes, but often when he comes back he's quite hungry and wants a little kind of snack, and to give him something like chicken dippers or some pizza or something like that is just a good thing after he's been sporty. So on to meat. Quite a lot of chicken this week, so I got the thigh fillets, turkey mince, some chicken breast mini fillets. I got 2 whole chickens, a medium one I'm going to cook up for this evening because I want some cooked chicken. If I'd have gone earlier to grocery shop, I would have put it in the crock pot and let it cook that way, but I wasn't that organised today. And then the other one we'll have for roast chicken dinner tomorrow, so I probably will cook that one in the crock pot. And then, as I mentioned, I got one of these half sides of salmon. Now these were £7, I think, but if all 3 of us are eating salmon, it's cheaper for me to buy one of these than it is to buy individual pieces of salmon. You get 2 in a pack usually, and this is actually cheaper, and I can cut like a nice bigger piece for Tony and a smaller piece for Caleb, so I can tailor it to us a little better. I do sometimes buy the frozen salmon, but I do prefer it fresh. The frozen fillets that are all kind of perfectly the same size. Just, I don't know if anybody's got any suggestions on the best place to buy frozen salmon. I haven't had great experience with it, but if you've got any suggestions, please let me know. Fruits and veg then, white potatoes and sweet potatoes, regular mushrooms, carrots, baby spinach for Licky, and some to go in my cream cheese and salmon wrap, a pack of leeks, some curly parsley for Licky. Toney did do a run on Friday, I think it was, perhaps Thursday, and pick up a few extra bits for Licky as he was almost out of some things, so he has got enough to keep him going that I didn't need to get him much in my shop this week. Some red onions, mixed peppers, a cucumber, some salad tomatoes, 2 heads of broccoli. I've been buying the fresh broccoli. I do have frozen broccoli in the freezer, but I've been buying the fresh broccoli if we're going to have broccoli with meals quite close to when I shop. Because the good thing with the fresh broccoli is we eat the florets and then Licky will eat the leaves and stalk. So we completely use up the whole broccoli. Got little gem lettuce. This was part of their fruit and veg deal this week, so these were only 49p. I got 3 packs of these little pineapple fingers. They're 3 for £1.50, and I know that is more than you would pay for a whole pineapple. But again, the last thing I want to do at the moment is stand and cut up a pineapple. And then if I bought a whole one and cut it up, Caleb and I both like pineapple, but we don't like a lot of it. So some of it would end up getting thrown away. So I might as well spend the money on these 3 little packs, and I know they'll get eaten. Bananas, I like to have pineapple, by the way, on top of porridge, like a tropical porridge with pineapple and kiwi fruit. And I've got a coconut skinny syrup that I stir through the porridge, and it is really delicious. Jaffa oranges, I had some of these last week. They are slightly more expensive than the regular oranges, but they were so juicy, they were seedless, they were absolutely delicious. So I've gone for another pack of those this week. Super sweet plums, again, more expensive than normal plums, but it's not really plum season. And the last few batches we've had just haven't been that good. They've been kind of pithy. I know plums are not pithy, but I don't know if you know what I mean. They're kind of a strange texture. So I've decided to give these a try because I think they might be slightly better. And then our usual mix of berries, strawberries, blueberries and raspberries. I usually eat the raspberries. Caleb likes them if he's having a packed lunch. The blueberries get split between my porridge and Licky's breakfast bowl. And then the strawberries we all eat, including Licky, who has the tops. So that's how we use our berries. So then going on to our meal plan for the week, I'm going to make a lasagna tonight, but I'm going to make a chicken lasagna. This is one from the Slimming Eats website. that I haven't tried before, but that's got good reviews. So I'm going to make that this evening. That's why I'm going to cook up that smaller chicken. Tomorrow we'll have a roast chicken dinner. Monday we'll have sausages with sweet potatoes and veg. I'll probably make that like a tray bake. I've got some chipolatas in the freezer. I've also got some vegetarian sausages, so I'll probably use a combination. Tuesday I'll use the chicken thigh fillets to make jerk chicken with wedges and vegetables. Wednesday I'm going to make a sweet potato topped shepherd's pie with vegetables and gravy. Thursday, one of our favourites, the Mayflower chicken curry with rice. And Friday we'll have the salmon, and I'll make that with rice and veg. Probably make that a bit like an egg fried rice, sort of kind of takeaway rice, and then have the pan-seared salmon on top of that. So that is our plan for the week ahead. Thank you for joining us for this tour of our grocery haul. I'm just thankful that I got through it without a coughing fit, because I haven't got through much the last few days without it. But thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you back here on the Seesaw soon.